So back in the day, Paul Hornbug was one of the best running backs of his day. Hang with me for a sec. On December 12th, 1965, he scored a Green Bay Packers record 5 touchdowns in a game. And he tells a great story of waking up the next morning with his chest puffed, feeling all great about himself, thinking he's the man, goes down to the kitchen table, opens up the paper, and is like, all right, of course, I'm going to see my name there. And the front page of the paper says, Sayers scores 6. You probably don't know who Paul Hornug is. Had a day, probably don't know who he is, but you do know who Gale Sayers is. That right there is how TCU quarterback Josh Hoover has to feel this season. He leads the country in passing yards per game and touchdowns per game. He's won a primetime matchup with the whole college football world watching against one of the greatest football coaches of all time in Bill Belichick. He's undefeated and right now has 18-1 Heisman odds. Might be some sneaky value there. And still, with all of that, he's not even the third most talked about quarterback in his own state. Texas has got a lot of teams. But TCU, they're doing some good things, and their quarterback is legit. I had him in person last year in the Iron Skillet game, which just happened yesterday. I had it last year. Great rivalry. Fun time. He was 22 for 40, 371 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 2 sacks versus SMU. 6 carries for 35 yards. And then I saw ESPN was loving up his go-to playmaker, Eric McAllister, 8 catches on 14 targets, 254 yards, and 3 tutties. Those slant routes were lethal. But what makes Josh Hoover great, those of you guys on YouTube, I'm going to the footage, is a little bit of everything. You can tell he's got the baseball background. Josh Hoover's a baller. And I feel like the average college football fan knows him because of all the Nico Iamaleava Tennessee chatter. And Josh Hoover was the guy that Tennessee was reportedly trying to get. They went Joey Aguilar. Well, there's a reason they were trying to go get Josh Hoover, and it's because of throws like this. Check this out. This is big time. Early on in the ball game, this is just a quarterback making a play. SMU rushes 6. He gets flushed out, and this is a 20, 30, 35-yard strike, accurate dime on the run while getting hit. This is big league right here. This is big league. You want to rush 6? All right, sweet. Don't let me get outside the pocket. Rips it, gets hit, falls on his throwing shoulder, accurate throw, touchdown. Big time. Right here, it's not just running around having fun, having backyard football plays. Josh Hoover can process at a high level. On this play right here, he's going to work the bottom of the screen on a route concept. I think it's a comeback to the bottom of your screen. And then quickly, he's going to get back to a dig, working right to left at 12, 15 yards. He makes this throw look easy. Boom. That's not an easy throw. Behind the first linebacker, if he's late at all, it allows this middle linebacker in the middle of the field to get involved. And 1, it's a cleaning your clock shot, or 2, it's an interception, incompletion, whatever. But behind this first linebacker, ripping it in front of this middle linebacker, he's looking for work. He's dropping and looking literally at this dig route to go clean this dude's clock. Josh Hoover makes this look super easy. Play action, eyes go left, back right, rips it. Arm strength, accurate, right on his receiver. When you're sitting on your couch at home, I think it's because we see these types of throws all day long in the NFL. Not every college quarterback can do this. And I made this point in the open of this live for people watching all the way through. I don't know. It's hitting me this way different. Not every college team has an intermediate passing game. And so when you do, and you have a quarterback who can operate that, dude, it opens up your entire offense. I would be willing to say, when you're playing the quarterback position and you can show that you can hit intermediate routes, meaning 12-yard curl routes, 12-yard basic routes, meaning in routes, meaning 10 or 15-yard out routes, or right here, more of that 15-yard dig by the slot. When you show you can do that, you give yourself 2 more easy free completions later on in the game, meaning little flat routes, little check down routes, little slant routes. Why? Because when you show you can do this, the defense now gets a little bit softer. That's those safeties say, oh man, he's pressing the ball down the field. They get a little bit deeper. those linebackers are like, oh crap, he's having to throw this ball behind my head. I got to manage more. I got to look around. When they're looking around, when they're managing more, that's how you get easy little hitch routes. That's how you get easy little slant routes. That's why it's so critical. And I think championship level rosters have to have an intermediate passing game, which I just told you about Indiana. They don't have that. At least they didn't have to show it versus Illinois. I don't know if they have that. It's been very RPO quick game based. But watch Josh Hoover's eyes here. Goes to his right. Dude, that's clinic tape. Goes to his right. Tries to pull this trigger. Not there. Reset, ball, arm strength, accurate, money. That's big time quarterback play. And then this one right here, again, when you're sitting on your couch, this just looks like an easy 9-yard curl completion. It's not. This is all Josh Hoover. Look at how early he throws this football. It's getting pressure in his face. This is 3rd and 9 late in the ball game. It's a close game. You're going back and forth with your rival. He knows he's got one-on-one matchup to the top of your screen. Look at how early he throws this football. 1, 2, 3, ball out. The receiver is not even out of his break. He has thrown this. He's thrown this right now. This receiver is a full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards from getting out of his break. You're on the right hash. You throw your receiver open. NFL scouts see that and say, dude, sign me up. Check the back view right here. 1, 2, 3, knows he has pressure, gets the ball out of his hands, throws his receiver open, come down with the catch, get the first down. 2 of those throws I just showed you right there. Looks kind of average, whatever on your couch. Those are big-time quarterback play. Josh Hoover's definitely better than Arch Manning right now. He's better than Baron Morton. Baron Morton's a good quarterback, but he's better than Baron Morton. Josh Hoover's playing like the best quarterback in Texas right now.